One of the most influential groups in hip-hop history is Two Live Crew. Like NWA, Two Live Crew faced many challenges in the music industry. Their music was banned. Their music was protested against. They were even arrested for performing.
Last night and sang lyrics ruled obscene by a federal judge just 4 days earlier. Authorities then kept their word and arrested two members of the group as they pulled away in their limousine. They are charged with violating Florida's obscenity law and face up to a year in jail if they're convicted.
Why Two Live Crew? Because there was nothing like them at this time. And America, quite frankly, was a bit scared. Songs like Me So Horny and Pop That P didn't sit well with a lot of small town American folks. I can't let my daughter listen to this. She may grow up to be one of those girls in that video. I can't let my son listen to this. He might grow up and see women as a piece of meat. The fact is, many young kids were bumping Two Live Crew. Me included. I was young at the time, so I didn't quite understand all of the innuendos they were spitting, but I did know that I wasn't supposed to be listening to it. And that was what made me want to listen more. Like Too Short, like NWA, I gravitated towards Two Live Crew's music. Mainly because of all the F words and the foul language. I didn't understand at that time that I was listening to a group that was changing the landscape of hip-hop. A group that was putting their own freedom on the line for their passion for music. They were considerably controversial in the US due to the explicit content in their songs, particularly on their album, Nasty As They Wanna Be. I was 11 when that came out, and at that time, I could recite every single word from every song.
Yeah, Me So Horny, I wrote that record. The shows were so fun, I used to look forward to going to do them because it gave me a sense of, I don't know, I guess a sense of happiness from being around like what Luke and all of his people had going on. Doing the shows were like more of a way of an escape for me. I used to love it. I used to love doing the shows, man. The shows were awesome. I mean, that was some of the great times I ever had in my life. Those were highlights just by being on the stage and performing those songs at that time when they were very, very popular.
Uncle Luke, a.k.a. Luke Skywalker, Fresh Kid Ice, Mr. Mix, and Brother Marquise. Contrary to popular belief, Two Live Crew's roots didn't start in Miami, Florida. Their roots started in Southern California, right where I'm sitting right now. In 1989, while stationed at March Air Force Base near Riverside, California, Mr. Mix met fellow musicians and United States Air Force Airmen Amazing V and Fresh Kid Ice. The trio, with Mix as DJ and Fresh Kid Ice and Amazing V as rappers, went on to form Two Live Crew and would perform in small venues near the base, eventually releasing the group's first singles, The Revelation and Two Live Beatbox, on their own independent label, Fresh Beat Records. The singles became popular in Florida, so much so that following their discharge from the U.S. Air Force, Mr. Mix and Fresh Kid Ice eventually relocated to Miami at the behest of local concert promoter Luther Campbell, a.k.a. Uncle Luke, who helped cultivate the momentum the group was establishing in the area. Amazing V left the group shortly after and was replaced by Brother Marquise, and the rest, as they say, is history. I bet a lot of y'all thought Two Live Crew got their start in Florida. Nope. Right here in Southern California, baby. Now, we can't go on without showing love to Brother Marquise, who recently passed away at the young age of 58. Very sad day. Thank you, Brother Marquise, for your huge contribution to hip-hop. You made an impact on the world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's have a moment of silence for Brother Marquise. R.I.P. Mr. Mix was credited as being one of the fathers of the Miami bass sound. In 1986, the group released the single Throw the D. It is now considered the blueprint of Miami bass. How funny, huh? And interesting that the sound of Miami bass was actually founded in Southern California. West Coast hip-hop roots run deep, and our story will be heard. Eventually. Slowly but surely, the world will see the impact the West Coast had on early hip-hop. Dare I say, hip-hop started in the West? There's a good argument for that. And it makes a lot of sense to me. We were popping and locking in the late 60s. We were rapping and capping in the late 60s. Just saying, do a little research before you accept the fact, and I put fact in quotes, that hip-hop started on the East Coast. Anyway, let's keep moving. Luke ends up giving the 2 Live Crew a record deal, and he worked as the group's manager. He also joined the group as its hype man and spokesperson in their subsequent controversies. And boy, did they have many.
Latest chapter in a growing national debate over where, in a democratic society, art ends and obscenity begins, and who should decide. Doug Tennell reports.
The Florida furor that has engulfed 29-year-old rap musician Luther Campbell and his group 2 Live Crew today spread to communities across the country. The group's album, As Nasty as They Wanna Be, was ordered off record store shelves by police in San Antonio today. In Huntsville, Alabama, where the group is to perform this weekend, the city council tightened its obscenity laws last night. The group may face arrest, officials in Huntsville say, if the group's performance includes material ruled obscene by a federal judge in South Florida. Luther Campbell says his group would clean up its act for the Huntsville performance if the audience included teens under 18, but not if it is restricted to adults only.
You don't tell us what we can do and say around adults. The adult has the right to listen to what they want to listen to. If they don't want to hear the 2 Live Crew, then they don't buy no ticket. They won't be at that concert.
The same Cincinnati sheriff that cracked down on the Mapplethorpe exhibition has also ordered 2 Live Crew's album off record store shelves. The reason? Sexually explicit lyric.
That's for an adult audience. And that's who we want it for. The adults, 18 years and older.
The federal judge's ruling dismissed Campbell's claim that his music is both artistic and cultural expression. The band album, which had been suffering from declining sales, has been climbing up record charts across the country since the judge's ruling last week.
Keep in mind, this is the 1980s. It's not like today where it's normal for people like Sexy Red to tell you her pussy hole is pink and her booty hole is brown. These types of lyrics were not the norm. And the Bible Belt of America was not digging this group of black men who had half-naked black women with big old booties on the front of their album cover. In fact, everything started when a record store exec in Alexander City, Alabama was cited for selling a copy of 2 Live Crew's Move Something album to an undercover police officer in 1988. It was the first time in the United States that a record store owner was held liable for obscenity over music.
A Florida jury says the rap group 2 Live Crew can't be as nasty as they want to be if they want their records sold in stores. In what's being called a landmark case, the jury convicted a record store owner on obscenity charges for selling a 2 Live Crew album, an album banned by a federal judge because of its lyrics. Charles Freeman was arrested in June for selling the album As Nasty as They Want to Be. He insists his arrest violates the First Amendment right of freedom of speech and says his conviction is racially motivated.